So, I finally got my German driver's license. Yes! Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today it's just me, and I'll be sharing how I got my license, my German driver's license, and how you can get yours if you're planning to live or stay in Germany long term. It's very important to have a driver's license, especially if you work in Germany. It is possible to survive without a driver's license because the German transport system is relatively good. They have a good functional system. They have trains and buses, and it's not too expensive to get a monthly pass or a yearly pass if you want that. But sometimes it's quite difficult if you live outside of the city, way outside of the city like I do right now, and you have to work. It gets difficult depending on the transport system because sometimes they don't come on time or something happens, and it can be frustrating not to have a German driver's license and a car, of course. Once you have a driver's license, you need a car. So yeah, I'll be talking about my process, how I got mine, and how you can get yours also. Number one, it is better if you already have a license from your home country because it reduces the time or the resources you have to give to get the German driver's license. It is very expensive to get the German driver's license if you have to start from scratch. So I would just say an estimate of getting the license from scratch. If you have to do all the courses and everything, you could spend a minimum of 1,500 euros. So you can convert it into your currency, and euros is it's a bit higher than dollars. So that's quite expensive, and that's the minimum mostly. You could spend up to 2,000, 3,000 euros just to get the license. And so it is advisable that you have a license from your home country. That way, you can either just switch it directly and get the German license, or you only have to do the exams. Like that's the practical exam and the theory exam. For countries like America, Australia, and South Africa, I think, you can just switch your license for a German license without having to do the exams or doing the courses. I think there's some kind of agreement between the German government and the American government, the Australian government and the South African government, that makes it easier for their citizens to get the German license by just switching the licenses. But you still have to do your eye test, very compulsory, and you need to do the first aid test. So it doesn't matter if you don't need to take the exam. You still need to do an eye test, and you also still need to do the first aid course. It's compulsory for every country. For other countries that I know of, Nigeria being included, you need to take the exam. So if you have if you have your license from your home country, you don't have to do the whole course from scratch. So you only need to take the driving exam, the practical exam, and the theory exam. And if you pass both of them, of course, including the first aid course and the eye test, once you pass it, you can get your German driver's license. But if you have no license at all from your home country, then you would have to go through the process from scratch. Yes. I'll be sharing a few things about the German driver's license and what you should know before you get it. So if you're planning to come to Germany, I would advise that you get a license from your home country to help you reduce the process. Okay? With the American driver's license, I don't know about the rest, but with the American driver's license, I'm talking about the American license because I stayed in America for a while. And so for Americans that are planning to come to Germany, I'd like you to know that with your license, you're allowed to drive in Germany for 2 years without having to change it to a German license. So if you have an American license, you can use it for 2 years. And then you have to change it for a German license. You can no longer drive with your American license. For Nigerian license or for licenses from other countries, from other African countries, you're only allowed to drive in Germany for 6 months. Sorry, but that's the case. So if you have a license from Nigeria or from any other African country or any other country that has no special agreement with Germany, you are only allowed to drive with your license for 6 months. And after 6 months, you have to do the test to get your German license. Okay? In my case, I had to switch my license for the German license. So I still needed to do the theory exam and the practical exam. And by God's grace, I passed both of them. It's not a very easy exam to take. There are people that have failed the exam a couple of times, you know. Like I've lived in the States, and if I am to compare the the driving system or the exams in the States to Germany, I would say the exams in the States it's a piece of cake. In Germany, it is quite complicated, way more complicated here. For the theory, you have to get ready and you have to learn like 1,000 questions, over 1,000 questions. That's for the practice time. So you learn those questions, but in the exam, you only get to see, I think 30 or 33 questions that come during the exam. But to practice or to get ready for the exam, you go through over 1,000 questions. And the driving in Germany is a bit more complicated. You have way more signs on the road, and it's a bit harder than other EU countries, or even America or any other country that I know of. So it's not a very easy exam to take. You know, a lot of Germans fail over and over again. It doesn't mean that you're dumb, just means that it's not very easy. Thank God I passed the theory and the practical on my first try. I'm glad that happened like that. Yeah, but for some other people, it's not the case. Especially if you've not driven before. Especially if you're starting from scratch. It's quite tricky, it's quite difficult. So just so you know, before you start it, just get ready and be prepared for it. Yeah, and also very important, I'm from Nigeria, so sometimes Nigerians can find themselves in a situation where they got a license from the authorities that is not valid. Because of the corruption in Nigeria, it is possible for you to get a license from a government official that is fake. And if you bring that here to try to use it to transfer for a German license, they will find out that it is fake, and you will have to pay for something that you didn't know nothing about. Something that you knew nothing about, then you have to pay the price for it. So please, if you have a Nigerian driver's license, before you go to switch it for a German one, verify that the license is real. It's a real original license. I think that there's a website you go to verify that. Just go on Google and type verify my Nigerian driver's license, and I think a link will come up to help you verify. It's very important because you might fall a victim just because you trusted the government for a license and didn't know that you got a fake one. You might get into a big trouble here in Germany. So if you have a Nigerian driver's license, please verify your license before you take it to the driving authorities here in Germany to switch it for a German one. Very important, okay? Also, having a German driver's license can increase your chance of getting a job. A lot of companies hire people with driver's licenses before they consider people that do not have it, okay? Because it means that you're mobile, even if you don't have a car. Some companies have cars, and they would like to know that in case they need you to drive somewhere, you can drive somewhere. and not just having an international license, but a German one. Because some insurances do not cover you if you drive with an international license. I mean, of course, if you have a license from any of the EU countries, for example, Sweden, Denmark, like the EU countries, it doesn't matter. You don't really need a German license. All licenses from the EU countries are fully accepted and recognized here in Germany. So if you're from any EU country, this video is not for you. You do not need a German license. But if you're from outside the European Union, if you're from any other country outside of the EU, and you've been here for a while and you intend to stay longer, then you should consider having a German driver's license, because it could increase your chance of getting a job, or let's just say of getting a high or good paying job. For those of you that are planning to write your exam soon, whether theory or planning to do your practical exam very soon, I wish you good luck. It's not very easy, but it is possible for you to pass. Just try not to be too stressed out. I know it sounds easy right now saying it. I've gone through it, so I know what I'm talking about. Try not to be too stressed out. It doesn't matter how difficult the examiner is. You can pass, and it's very important that you go through all the practice and get used to the roads before the exam day. And when the exam day comes, try to be relaxed and just drive the same way you drove with your teachers. Try to be relaxed. Try to focus more on your teacher than on the examiner, because during the driving exam, you have your teacher sitting close to you on the right hand side, and at the back you have the examiner. Okay, and during the exam, your teacher doesn't say a word. You receive all the instructions from the examiner. Okay, and that can be very, very what would I call it? You can be very nervous, and it can be very scary for you, because now you're listening to the examiner and not your teacher. But you have to create in your mind a picture that makes you believe that it's just you and your teacher. Okay, you only need to drive exactly the same way you drove with your teacher, and everything will be fine. I wish you good luck, and if you have any more questions about how to get your German license, please leave your question in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer them as much as I can. So I wish you good luck. I wish you success, and please, when you pass, also comment below and tell me you passed. And if you failed, feel free to comment also below, because I believe you can do it again, and do not give up until you pass, because it is worth it. And when you get your license, you'll be very happy that you went over and over again to get it. Okay, thank you guys for watching. That's all for today. I wish you guys a wonderful week. Please subscribe, like, and share the video, and I hope to see you guys next time. Have a wonderful week.